You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. Hello, I'm Steven Willis from the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, and I'm joined by Tom Vanderford, the mayor of Corinth, as he joins the show every week. And we're going to talk about SEC Media Days, and we're going to start talking about fall camp because it's about, I'm assuming it's like 9 days away from the beginning of fall camp from the time this video airs.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's getting here like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about fall camp, and we're gonna start to get in that mindset of basically what we need to do for those 9 days. But we're going to start out with SEC Media Days, and I am of the opinion, and well, pretty much everybody's of the opinion, that Ole Miss kind of won SEC Media Days. You had three very impressive player speakers that did a fantastic job. Lane Kiffin looked as comfortable as he's ever looked in that environment. Even took a shot at Paul Feinbaum when he had the opportunity. That made me pretty happy as well. I think Ole Miss overall Monday, I was right. They won SEC Media Days, and it carried all the way through the week.
I agree. It's wonderful. Got a little rat poison from Mr. Saban. That was actually
got rat poison for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, people are starting to realize what I think a lot of us already knew. Of course, we're near and dear to the program, and we try to learn all we can about our program, and we know that this is the deepest, most talented class of athletes we've ever had.
Yeah, and you have people that are like basic rat poison salesmen like me.
Yeah.
So because I say what I see, I don't not say what I see but saying it might cause a problem down the road, but I say what I see.
Exactly. Me too.
And you look at this team, like Jackson Dart had an unbelievable day. And I thought it was funny. I talked with Michael Katz about it. Everybody started talking about this Cali kid, Jackson Dart. And to be honest, Jackson Dart absolutely looked like a Cali kid at SEC Media Days. But he's from Utah. He hunts mountain lions.
Right.
He is not Cali. He just looks Cali, but he acts Mississippi, if we're going to be honest.
Well, he goes fishing all the time. I can remember on one episode of the season where him and some guys went fishing.
Yeah, and that was a very – I think they made fun of Walker Howard and his fishing technique that day.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that maybe that was at Eli Acker's place or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I remember that episode as well. What were your takeaways from SEC Media Days?
Well, I love the fact that we have that the three people that went, the three young men, were all well-spoken. They were well-mannered. They were intelligent folks. And, it's just good to see Ole Miss get to that point to where we are up there with the major programs in the SEC as far as our student athletes. And like we've already mentioned, the student athletes' athletic ability as well.
Yeah, and Ole Miss just got the same treatment that Georgia and Alabama and LSU have gotten for the last. Yeah, that's what it was.
We've got a chance to have the most NFL draft picks in a single draft coming up if everybody stays healthy and performs like they're supposed to.
Yeah, that is real. And I think another thing I told Michael Katz is like Jackson Dart, if everything goes to chalk and Ole Miss has the season that we expect them to have, Jackson Dart is going to leave Ole Miss as the holder of 95% of the quarterback records in just about every important one.
Right.
And he's going to leave here also the winningest quarterback in Ole Miss history.
Yeah.
And
wonderful?
yeah, whenever you put those together, you get into kind of heady territory. And this is the comp that I told Michael Katz on the podcast last night. Connor Shaw, the quarterback at South Carolina. That is kind of who Jackson Dart kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, he's something else. He's a really good hard runner. His passing game has improved each year he's been there. He's just a tough kid. He's an athlete. His dad was a safety, and he's got that safety mentality as well.
Thanks again for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. When we come back, we're going to start talking about fall camp because it's like 9 days away. It's like the middle of next week. It will be here. Well, I guess the middle of the week after next, because you're going to watch this on Saturday morning. But there's going to be one more week of talking season, and then we're getting ready to go. So stick around for that. But first, passion, drive, and patience, the formula for winning championships, is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performances. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. And with over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay's Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every single time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it is really super easy to make your car the MVP and bring home some huge wins. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay's Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to go away. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer and fewer games, and the sports just aren't sportsing the way we want them to. But FanDuel lets you keep the sports going whenever you want. All you have to do is open in the app and dream up bets anytime you are in the mood. Maybe you want to bet on Ole Miss and the over-under of 9.5 wins this season, or Jackson Dart at plus 1,500 to win the Heisman Trophy. That is your chance. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day all summer long. So head on over to FanDuel and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Your TV all day and you have to turn down the volume. With all of that shouting, make the switch to Locked On Sports today. It's a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you each and every single day to bring you the biggest stories without all of that screaming. Locked On Sports today brings you can't miss analysis, opinions, and news streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every single day. Really good stuff. And they're going to launch 2 more streaming channels, Locked On NFL and Locked On College Sports. So yours truly is going to be getting some action in these streaming networks as well. So Tom, let's change gears. We have got fall camp starting in about 10 days. We haven't got the official start of it, but with the opening kickoff on August 31st, that kind of lets me know that July 26th, July 27th, July 28th, somewhere in there feels like a little bit of the sweet spot. So with fall camp coming in, what do we do to turn the page? What are some storylines that you are going to be looking forward to? And I'll tell you that some things that I've been looking forward to.
Oh, I want to see how our offense clicks with the new weapons. I want to see how our offensive line performs. We should have gotten a little bit better there, and we needed to get better there. I want to see how, of course, the defensive line gels. We've got all the talent in the world there, and we need to see how that works. Of course, I want to see how our secondary and linebackers want to kind of see how the rotation is, how deep it is. I know we've got some good players, but I want to see depth start to develop as well.
That's
it.
Well,
right.
yeah. Talking with Michael Katz of what's going on yesterday. I know I've brought that up a few times on here, but one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is the Austin Simmons versus Walker Howard. I
Yeah.
think the backup quarterback battle has already begun, and everybody needs to at least pay attention to it. Not for this year, but so you have a decent frame of reference moving forward. I do want to see offensive line like the Diego Pounds, the Nate Calepos, the Julius Bulos, the Jerquan Scotts, those guys going into the offensive line. How do they gel? What's the five that ends up working out? Micah Pettis and Jaden Williams isn't just going to give up their position. So which five are going to lead out there? Chris Hardy, I'm really interested to see how he does at the early part of camp, especially since he's going to get the head start with Princely and Mamiel and supposedly might be a little bit slow coming back. I want to see at linebacker. What are the two linebackers that get most of the playing time with the first unit? We know about Chris Pupal. Is it Suntaran Perkins? Is it TJ Dudley? Is it Kari Coleman? Is it Tyler Banks? Who is that second linebacker? I'm curious about that. And the defensive backs, I want to see exactly what they look like. Honestly, with the defensive backs, I'm going to be looking for competency first, and then I'm going to look and see who the playmakers are.
Right. We've got some good playmakers. I think Turnage is going to be a good DB. Of course, my brain's fried right now, but the DB from Alabama,
Trey Amos.
Yeah, he's supposed to be wonderful. So, and we've got Saunders back at safety, and we've got some other key players. So we should be in good shape. We did good in the transfer portal building depth. So, with the kid from Oklahoma, the kid
Key
from
Lawrence.
Yeah. So we should be good. I'm excited.
What's the position group, if you had to pick one, that I should be worried about?
Safeties.
Safety.
Yeah.
And you look at the safeties. Yeah, you got the Trey Washington. I think Trey Washington coming back, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that helps. I really, really want to see, like I said, the depth in the defensive backfield is a concern for me.
Yeah, I'm curious looking at the safety position of Key Lawrence, Lewis Moore, Yam Banks, Jaden Kennedy, all of those guys, all of those dudes. Who are the first three? I think Trey Washington is going to end up at free safety, but I think it's going to change with the strong safety and the hybrid Husky type safety for Ole Miss in fall camp. And I'm honestly really looking forward to that. And now that there is no transfer portal window immediately after practice, hopefully open scrimmages become the norm again.
Right.
To where on Saturdays people can go in and see what's going on.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Tom Vanderford joining us Saturday morning like he pretty much always does. But here in a couple of weeks, once the game starts, he's going to move to Friday night. So that's where you're going to see Tom.
That's right.
So we'll see what's going on. What do you got going on this weekend, buddy?
Oh, dude, I got to go, with my recent issues over the past couple of years. Of course, every off day is a doctor's appointment, and I've got to go to the doctor tomorrow. But other than that, I'm just going to try to relax and enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, honestly, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I think you should do. Just relax. Like I said, in 9 days, we're going to be throttled down. Let's go. And at that point, I have to be ready to go too. But I've set up 2 interviews on Friday so I can get used to working that 6 days a week that I do during football season to kind of gear up to that. That's what I'm doing. And Saturday, I'm going to see Twisters because today I'm going to see Twisters because
awesome.
I'm excited about that. Yep, Twisters, and then next week is Deadpool, and then the week after that, or the month after that, I should say, is Beetlejuice. And those are the 3 movies that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I will definitely go see Deadpool.
Yeah, should be really cool. But anyway, Tom, have a good one, man, and we'll talk to you later.
All righty. Hotty toddy, everybody.